Hello and welcome back to The Talk now. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are busy working on a bunch of new material for Netflix. That's including 2 new unscripted series and a film. According to a company exec, Archwell Productions is on the verge of a burst of activity over the next 12 months. It's all part of their $100 million 5-year deal with the streaming giant, which Hollywood insiders have speculated won't be extended when it expires next year. Meanwhile, the couple's released a new video on their Archwell website calling on social media companies to reduce the amount of harmful online content to protect them from cyberbullying.
We need to get out of this idea that, young kids, there's something wrong with them. It's the world that we're allowing to be created around them. Please stop sending children content that you wouldn't want your own children to see.
Everyone now is affected by the online world and social media. There is an entry point that's positive in creating community, but we all just want to feel safe.
Well, the video follows yesterday's Washington committee hearing on online child safety, where tech bosses, including Mark Zuckerberg, were told they had blood on their hands as they gave evidence in front of parents who claim social media contributed to their children's suicide or abuse.
You and the companies before us, I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people.
You've done nothing to help them. You've done nothing to compensate them. You've done nothing to put it right. You could do so here today, and you should.
Well, obviously, very, very interesting what was going on at Capitol Hill with those tech giants, and the issue of online bullying and how much control or lack of control the companies have. I think is very interesting. I think Harry and Meghan will inevitably, whatever they do, they end up getting criticism. Actually, on this front, this video that they posted to coincide with the politics of the matter was about a summit that it wasn't just them getting in on the act. They held this summit in October with all these grieving parents who they've been working with for a long time. We know they're interested in online abuse and online issues. So I think it was totally fair enough that they sort of reminded the world that this is an issue that they have formed in, that they have taken an interest in, that they've put a lot of effort in. And I think a lot of those same parents that were at their event in October were then at the hearings this week in Washington. So personally, I think fair enough. I know that won't stop the critics.
Well, I'm not against them doing it. I mean, it's surely better than doing
not
something.
Doing it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really criticise them for the nature of the campaign. I think what they were saying, we only played a clip of it, was pretty banal, but the sentiment is nonetheless worth spreading. And this stuff is very, very real. And I thought it was fascinating what came out about the email exchanges between Sir Nick Clegg, formerly Deputy Prime Minister of this country, and his bosses at Meta, in which Nick Clegg, who's their global head of, I think it's public affairs,
comms or something,
and he was urging them to appoint way more people. He had a particular ask of the top people, saying we need to really team up here, we need to staff up and fully resource our effort on preventing these types of online harms, because at the moment we're basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but we're paying lip service to it. And his request was rebuffed. And he came back again and he reduced, I think there was further correspondence in which he asked for a smaller number of additional staffing. Again, it didn't seem to come to much. So the people inside these organisations know they have a problem, and frankly, parents know there's a problem.
There's a simple... Go on, JJ.
So the simple thing for them to do would be to make sure everyone who has an account has to prove their identity. But they won't do that because they know that it will reduce by almost 2/3 the amount of people who use the service. And all these, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or TikTok, because it's free, the users are the data. That is the profit. They are using everything. You're scrolling. That is what they are using to make their money.
Yes, you are the product.
You are the product, yeah.
And we're in a ludicrous position. For publishers, there is absolutely no way a publisher is not responsible for the material that they put out. For newspapers, for any other media organisation, and yet somehow the tech giants have got away with it, that they can't control. Oh, it's a Wild West out there. But they have to be held accountable. when the stuff is so damaging, not just kind of, you know, pornography and the violent stuff, the sort of mental health, the bullying, all of those issues, it seems astonishing.
But that is us
they
doing
can
it
still...
rather than them, right?
Yes,
it's
yes,
their
but they're
platform, but
hosting.
we're doing it.
It is, and I think...
I don't care. It's like a publisher wouldn't,
course.
publish content without checking and quality
No, they wouldn't.
control.
But with the publisher, they are paying a journalist to produce that content. That's the publisher doing the content essentially. With social media, we are deciding what content we put out there.
They are
and we
still
deciding
hosting
what we
it.
consume.
They are still hosting it and making money from it.
And the problem, and I'm only really seeing this now through the lens of my kids who are quite young, they're 5 and 10. I'd never realised, I mean, they're not on social media, but they engage in, you know, gaming and stuff like that. How the online world is not like an additional world. It's not another thing. It's part of the thing. And of course, as we have wearable technology and all sorts of other things going on, that's going to become more and more. If you were to say, we're going to hire a local football stadium and 100,000 people are going to turn up in that football stadium, we're going to get one kid to stand there and 30 people are going to bully the hell out of them. And then over in that corner over there, they're going to tell her that they want to, you know, sexually attack her. We'd be going, no, you can't do that. But for some reason with this, we can. We've got algorithms, we've got AI. If Facebook can't stop it, they're not fit for purpose. If Twitter can't stop it, they're not. I don't believe they can't do more.
But Collins, your kids are a bit soft, to be fair. So
they are really, but I'm bringing them up in a brutal manner in this respect.
I like your
They're going to fight the good fight.